If you want to transform your body from this, a scrawny, no muscle, unconfident, skinny fat gamer, to this, somebody who looks completely different and takes pride in the work that they've put in, then this video is 100% for you. I'm going to go over my transformation and the number one thing that I had to change to get from where I was to where I am today. The number one thing that you have to do right now to get the body of your dreams is change your mindset. Stop identifying as a gamer. Start identifying as a gainer. On screen now is a picture of me before I started any kind of working out. I'd always been somebody who was very unconfident. I hated the way I looked. I hated my body. I had absolutely zero confidence or self-esteem in my appearance. For a long time I fantasized about this. For a long time I thought how nice it would be to wear tight clothes that fit my body nicely, to be proud of my muscles, to be proud of the work that I put in to achieve the body of my dreams. But that's all it was. They were only ever fantasies. I never took any action towards it. And the most important thing that I did to change this was a change in mindset. I changed my personality. I changed who I identified with. And we're going to get into the specifics of that right now. For most of my life, I've disassociated myself with the whole concept of fitness. For me, I didn't have permission. I wanted a good body, I wanted to be fit, I wanted to be strong and confident in how I looked. But that just wasn't me. It wasn't my fate, it wasn't who I was. I'd look at the bigger kids around me in school, the cool kids, the popular kids, the buff kids, and think, yep, that's just who they are. They deserve that. That's their personality. That's their identity. I'm a gamer. I go home and play video games all day. All my friends play video games. I can't possibly get a body like that because I don't have permission. I'm not allowed to. Everything I did, all the hobbies I had, all the time I spent, all the money that I spent, all of it reinforced this identity that I had as a gamer, as somebody who would never be fit, would never be strong, would never be buff, would never be a champ, would never be confident. Everything was going against this, and nothing I did even remotely pushed me or cast any votes towards identifying as an athlete, identifying as somebody who, like I said, has permission to build the body of their dreams. Even when I'd lost my passion for gaming, even when I'd come home from school or eventually work and spent hours looking through my Steam library, never really wanting to play anything, but wanting to play something at the same time, wanting to want to play something, but nothing took my fancy, nothing entertained me. You probably felt the same way too. I still didn't do anything else with my time. I was a gamer. What else is there to do with my time? Working out? No, that's not who I am. That's not what I can do. I remember, and this is kind of cringe honestly, I remember in one of the sports days we had at school, I must have been about 16, 17, towards the end of my high school in the UK. On our sports day, we all participated, the school gets everyone to have a go. The sporty kids love it, the kids like me who are gamers or nerds or whatever, we didn't want to do it, but they made us because everyone has to participate. So we did like an obstacle course, a race. And at the time I'd been binging this show called Naruto. And one of the things about the main character is he's got like unlimited energy. He's not the fastest, he's not the most powerful, he's definitely not the smartest, but his thing is that he can just keep going. Obviously, when you watch a show like this, you kind of feel like the main character as well. You want to be like them, you want to be strong, and everyone kind of believes that, yeah, I could do that. On this sports day, I was the first person in my group to drop out, to stop running, because I just ran out of energy. I couldn't do it. I'd lost all my stamina. And I wasn't a fat kid, I wasn't a big kid, I wasn't, overweight, I probably looked fairly fit, I was always quite slim, but mate, I just completely flopped. I couldn't run for longer than anyone in my team. And that's when I realized that my habits were catching up with me. That's when I realized that actually, yeah, I'm not healthy, I'm not fit. But it was such a long time after that, and I'm talking like 7 years. 7 years of realizing that I wasn't fit, being unhappy, but not doing anything to change that. This picture was taken when I was 24. This was the first month and a half of my lifting journey. 7 years of feeling down, feeling unmotivated, being unhappy, being dissatisfied with my body, and yet I didn't do a single thing to change that. Now, if you've identified with any of this, and I'm assuming you have because you'll watch this long in the video, you are probably asking, well, what do I do? Yeah, I want a body like that. I want to get fit. I want to get stronger. I want to learn how to love working out, but that's just not who I am. That's just not what I do. I don't deserve it. I don't have permission to do it. There's always an excuse in the back of your mind that, yeah, one day I want to do that, but not now because I'm a gamer. Not now because I'm not an athlete. Not now because I'm a nerd. Because the other kids in my class are gonna point at me for trying and laugh at me. Because that's not the place in society that I fit into. The issue is what you're telling yourself. The issue is how you identify. The issue is the fact that you don't see yourself as having permission to do these things, and so you don't do them. The start of any new habit, any new journey, is full of awkwardness. Not only are you completely unknowledgeable and have no experience in what you're doing, people are going to be a bit uncomfortable with the idea that you're changing the fundamental personality of who you are. But that's never going to go away. You're never going to be able to skip that stage. This is always going to be something that you have to overcome. And until you overcome it, until you have the willpower to break through this issue, you're never going to start and you're never going to achieve what you want to achieve in your life. Enough of letting this difficult first step stop you from achieving your dreams. Understand that it's going to be awkward. Embrace that awkwardness. Use it as fuel. Think, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. People are commenting on the fact that I'm doing this. I'm having some sort of crisis of identity. Do it anyway. You want to be a bodybuilder. You want to be an athlete. You don't want to be a nerdy gamer anymore with a child's body. You want to have a man's body. You want to have a body transformation that you can be proud of. You want to make a video like this in 3 years where you can say, wow, look at how much work I've put in and look at the results. But that won't happen until you identify as that person. That won't happen until your personality changes to be somebody that has permission to do that. That first little bit of progress, that first little bit of pride that I had at seeing the results really made me start to identify and have a personality as somebody that, yep, this is what I'm going to be doing for a long, long time, ideally for the rest of my life. It didn't start like that. The first time that I Googled beginner bodybuilding workout, I almost felt like I wasn't allowed to use the word bodybuilding. I'm not a bodybuilder, I'm a gamer that wants to be fit. I can't use that word. That word's reserved for the chads who have been doing this for 10, 15 years. It sounds stupid, but I know you know what I'm talking about. Lifting really isn't that difficult. It really isn't that complicated. At the moment you're sitting here looking at the top of the mountain and thinking, yeah, there is no way that I can make that journey, so I'm not even going to bother to start. How can a skinny fat gamer climb to the top of Everest? It just doesn't happen. It's not going to happen. Look at the first step you have to take, not the 10,000. Lifting is really just quite simple. It's lift weights with an emphasis on progressive overload and eat the correct food with enough protein. It's literally like one of the most simple things you can do. It's not easy. You've got to put in a lot of effort, and the mental barriers that we've been talking about are huge roadblocks to overcoming that. But the actual mechanisms behind building muscle are really simple, and you have so much information at your fingertips ready to teach you that there really isn't any excuse in terms of knowledge. You're also new. You are at the best time for muscle gain. If you need to, in this transitionary period, see lifting as a game. You've got basically like an EXP boost for the first 3 to 6 months, maybe even a year of lifting, where your newbie gains are going to do more for you than the rest of your lifting career. When you track your progress in terms of how you look, how much you're lifting, how easy sessions that used to be really difficult are becoming, you're basically watching yourself level up in real time. To go along with this, get yourself a routine. Don't just go into the gym and do whatever you want, because you're not going to progress, you're not going to track properly, you're going to do exercises that make one part of your body much, much stronger and more developed than the other because you don't know what you're doing. Be humble and say, yeah, I need somebody who knows what they're doing to tell me what to do. Do what I did and Google beginner bodybuilding routine. Find one that's 3 days a week that focuses on the full body. Track your workouts, go to the gym and make sure that you don't leave until you finish what you've got to do for the day. I wasted 6 months of my lifting journey on non-committal, sort of half-assed gym sessions where I went in with no plan, didn't know what I was doing a really unbalanced workout, ended up doing more cardio than weightlifting despite the fact that I wanted to build muscle. That doesn't make sense, I know, but I didn't actually have that information on hand. It was only until I found a structured plan and actually started following that to the letter that my real gains began, and I really started to develop this personality of, yes, I'm following the plan of a bodybuilder. That makes me a bodybuilder. And every session that I did, and every time I completed a session and beat my last score or beat my last effort, progressively overloaded, I was casting votes every single time towards this new identity. I was shaking off this identity as a gamer of a skinny guy who's never going to be proud of his body, who's never going to be happy with how he looks, who's always going to want and never going to achieve. Screw that, we don't want that, we don't need that in our lives. We can be whatever we want to be, we just need to have the mindset that that's who we are and that's who we're becoming. I journaled recently I wrote that I genuinely, and it's true, I genuinely don't remember what it felt like to not work out, to have a part of my life where I wasn't exercising. And yet I started my lifting journey when I was 24. I'm 27 now. So over 3/4 of my life, I didn't lift. I didn't exercise. I was a gamer. I wasn't an athlete. I wasn't a bodybuilder. This was a lifestyle that was completely foreign to me and I didn't associate with it at all. And yet in just 3 years, I've managed to completely change that. And now I can't remember what it feels like to not be a lifter. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. In such a short amount of time, I've completely rewired my life, my brain, my body. And again, like I said, I can't remember what that feels like. I've completely changed personality. You can do that too. You need to do that too if you want to have these results. And you can do it. You're allowed to do it. You have permission to do it. You don't need permission, but there you go. I've given it to you. It's weird to say that, but if that's what's holding you back, if that's what's limiting you, then go for it. Absolutely go for it. Screw what other people think. Screw what you think. I'm telling you that you're allowed to do that. Pretentious as fuck, I know, but there we go. If that's what's gonna help you, you have it. Working out is the most fun part of my day now. I look forward to every single exercise. And even though I'm here now, even though this is where I'm at and this is my body, I still consider this the beginning of my journey. I still consider this being at the very start of what I'm doing. And I'm so excited to see where the next 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 years of lifting will take me. It's the biggest passion in my life, whereas 4 years ago, I didn't even consider that I'd ever be fit. I didn't even believe that I could have a body like this, let alone that I'd achieve it. Changing your mindset and changing your personality is completely possible. It's absolutely possible. People do it all the time. You've done it hundreds of times in your life, most likely. And yet we're still holding ourselves back from achieving this. We don't need to. It's really not that difficult. Just put one foot in front of the other, start to do these activities, and you will very quickly realize that yes, you are a bodybuilder. You don't have to be a gamer for your whole life. You don't even like playing video games. You just do it because you want to kill some time and it's what you've always done. You rush to get back home as quick as possible to sit in front of the computer and be bored. Why don't you spend that time working towards a future that you want? Why don't you spend that time building your dream body? I did it. I'm no one special. I'm just an average guy. I was just an average gamer. No one has the right to determine who you have to be in life. No one has the right to tell you what you can or can't do. The only person that's holding you back is yourself. And it's your mindset that needs to change before you can achieve what you want. But the great thing is, that's entirely possible. You can start that literally anytime you want. After this video, you can take your first step on your fitness journey. All you have to do is believe that you're able to, and understand that you can change your personality, change your mindset, and adopt a new way of life, just like I did. Thank you for watching this video and joining me as I talked about my body transformation. It's completely changed my life, and it's no coincidence that the year that I started working out, I started my first proper relationship that's still going to this day. You're gonna get girls when you work out. If you've resonated with what I've said and you think you can benefit from listening to somebody who's been in a lot of situations that you've probably been in and come through them and grown, then hit subscribe and the notification bell to get updated when my next video is. It's really gonna benefit you, I think. Until then though, my name's Dan, and remember, always keep on smiling. Get rid of this, bro, come on.